A few kilometers outside Kandy, a road slices directly through 2,000 years of history. Most never look up at the rock faces rising on either side, but high on those stones, chieftains and lay devotees recorded their legacy in stone, donations to the Buddhist monks who once lived here. This is the story of the Doolwala cave complex, ancient rock shelters in the hills of Harispattuwa, and the early Brāhmī inscriptions that have survived there since at least the 2nd century BCE.
The Kandy district is one of the most archaeologically dense regions in Sri Lanka. Most people know it as the home of the sacred tooth relic, the last royal capital of Sri Lanka. But the hills surrounding Kandy hold something older and far less visited.
We're in Harispattuwa division, just outside Kandy. Here, the Barigama-Hallaluwa road cuts directly through an ancient cave complex, dividing in two a site that was already inscribed over 2,000 years before this road existed. And on those rock faces, on both sides of the asphalt, inscriptions in Early Brāhmī script survive to this day.
This is the Doolwala cave complex, and today we're going in. The staircase takes you up through dense forest cover. The road noise drops off quickly. Within a minute of climbing, you're in a different acoustic world entirely. Birds, wind, the occasional rustle you don't investigate too closely. These paths to cave hermitages followed the same logic they always did. Elevation meant separation from settlements. Separation meant silence. And silence, for a forest monk, was the whole point. Inscribed into the rock face of this cave is a single line of Early Brāhmī.
The Department of Archaeology has documented it. The language is Old Sinhala, sometimes called Sinhala Prakrit, the earliest written form of the Sinhala language recorded here in Early Brāhmī script. Parumaka, Pavita, Putha Parumaka, Shivena, Karite, Manabadasane, Shagasha. A man named Śiva, holding the title Parumaka, a local chieftain, and identified as the son of Chief Pavita, caused this cave to be made. He gave it to the Sangha, and he named it Manapadasana. The name is a compound of two Pali concepts, Manapa, meaning pleasing or agreeable, and Dasana, meaning sight or vision. Together they give us Manapadasana, a place truly pleasing to behold. It wasn't just a description of the view. It was a promise of the peace one would find within. What's worth noting is that this name wasn't unique to this cave. Across Paranavitana's Inscriptions of Ceylon, Volume 1, the name Manapadasana appears 26 times at different sites around the island. It functioned almost as a quality designation, a way of saying this is a proper residence, fit for serious practice.
The archaeological record for Doolwala cave complex doesn't stop at Chief Śiva's inscription. 3 other donations are documented at this complex: 809, 810, and 811 in the Inscriptions of Ceylon, Volume 1. A man named Dhammarakkita gave a cave here. So did Ashoka, son of Chief Shumana. And a woman, recorded as Upasika Tissa, a female lay devotee, also endowed a residence at this site. These weren't casual gifts. Cave donations in this period were formal legal acts. The donor was establishing a permanent endowment to the Sangha, the monastic community, in perpetuity. The inscription was the record of that act of merit, carved into the rock so it couldn't be disputed or forgotten. On this visit, I reached the Manapadasana cave. The remaining inscriptions are scattered across both sides of the road, in terrain that would need a separate approach. That's a return trip.
Reaching sites like this is not always straightforward. The rock surfaces are damp, the forest is thick, and if you're in the Kandy hills during or after the rains, leeches are a given, not a dramatic inconvenience, just part of moving through this terrain. But there's something that recalibrates your sense of time when you're standing in front of one of these inscriptions.
Ruwanvelisaya at Anuradhapura was being built in roughly the same century this was inscribed.
The script you're looking at was still a living writing system, not yet history, not yet archaeology, just a chieftain recording a gift, expecting it to last. It did.
Manapadasana, the cave pleasing to the mind. Chief Śiva named it that over 2000 years ago. Standing at the entrance, surrounded by forest, listening to nothing but the sounds of nature, it's hard to argue with him. Thank you for joining me at the Doolwala cave complex. There are many more stories waiting. This is Helen Nomad, in search of Helles.